Don't go into the woods at night. Scene 1. Setting the scene. The forest is dense, towering trees casting shadows beneath a dimming sky. Narrator. The woods have whispers of their own. A warning for those brave enough to tread their paths. The camera pans to a group of 4 friends: Tyler, Mia, Emily, and Jake. They prepare backpacks, laughter echoing through the trees. Maya. You guys are sure about this camping trip? They say these woods come alive at night. Jake. Oh, come on. It's just stories. Nothing to worry about. Scene 2. The journey begins. The group hikes deeper into the woods, the trees seeming to close in around them. Emily. Is it just me, or does it feel colder in here? Suddenly they hear a rustle in the bushes. Tyler. Maybe it's a bear or a wolf. They all laugh nervously, but the tension is palpable. Scene 3. The first night. As dusk settles, they set up camp. The fire crackles, casting flickering shadows on their faces. MIA. Let's tell ghost stories. As they exchange frightening tales, an unexplainable chill sweeps through, silencing the group. Jake. Did you guys feel that? The shadows seem to dance, and a low voice echoes through the trees. Narrator. Beware, for the dark is alive with secrets. Scene 4. The strange occurrence. In the dead of night, Mia awakes to a soft singing sound, haunting and beautiful. She steps outside the tent. MIA. Guys, wake up. Do you hear that? The others stir, but the singing fades. Emily. It's probably just the wind, or animals, but Mia is clearly disturbed. Scene 5. A chilling encounter. The next day, they decide to explore deeper into the woods. The atmosphere feels heavy, filled with an oppressive silence broken only by the crunch of leaves underfoot. MIA. Can we turn back? It feels wrong. Suddenly, they stumble upon an old, decrepit cabin. Tyler. We should check it out. The group hesitates, a sense of foreboding hanging in the air. Scene 6. Secrets of the cabin. Inside the cabin, dust blankets, old furniture, and eerie portraits hang crookedly on the walls. Jake. Look at this. It's a journal. He flips through the pages filled with frantic scrawls. Jake, reading. They came for me at night. Came in the dark. They exchange worried glances. Scene 7. Shadows in the forest. As they leave the cabin, it seems like the trees themselves are shifting, closing in around them. MIA. What if those stories are true? Suddenly, they spot shadowy figures lurking between the trees. Emily. Did you see that? Scene 8. The disorienting path. They decide to head back but find themselves unable to find the way. The forest feels like a maze. Tyler. Which way did we come from? The trees seem to bend, creating an illusion of movement. Jake. Stay close. We'll find it. Scene 9. The distressing realization. Hours pass, and the sun begins to set again. The forest darkens ominously around them. Emily. Guys, I think we're lost. MIA. Don't panic. Just retrace your steps. They walk in circles, panicking as the shadows deepen. Scene 10. The haunting whispers. Suddenly, they begin to hear whispers carried through the wind. A voice. Help! Help us! Tyler. Who's there? The forest responds with a chilling silence. The air grows heavy and they feel eyes upon them. Scene 11. The group fractures. Tensions rise and the group begins to argue. Jake. We should split up. We can cover more ground. Emily. That's the worst idea ever. We need to stick together. In a moment of frustration, Tyler storms off alone. Scene 12. Alone in the dark. Tyler wanders deeper into the woods, feeling increasingly uneasy. Tyler. I just need a minute. Suddenly, the shadows around him pulse as if alive. He hears the singing again, even more haunting this time. Scene 13. The encounter revealed. Tyler follows the sound to a clearing lit by the ghostly glow of the blood moon. There, shimmering in the moonlight, are ghostly figures of children dancing, their eyes hollow and pleading. Ghost child. Come play with us. Tyler. What? What do you want from me? The children's laughter echoes as they fade into the darkness. Scene 14. The horrifying discovery. Meanwhile, back at the original campsite, Mia, Emily, and Jake search for Tyler. They realize they are out of options. MIA. What if something took him? Emily. We have to stay together. We can't let the darkness win. Scene 15. The unseen threat. As night falls completely, the three friends find themselves surrounded by darkness. The trees hiss and groan. Jake. This forest is alive, and not in a good way. Sudden flashes of movement flicker in their peripheral vision. They hear the ghostly whispers and giggles again. Scene 16. Encountering the dark spirit. Suddenly, a dark figure looms before them, something ancient and twisted. Dark spirit. Welcome, lost souls. The group trembles as the spirit's eyes glow menacingly. MIA. What do you want from us? Scene 17. A bargain with darkness. The dark spirit grins, revealing sharp teeth. Dark spirit. I need new playthings, just like the ones that have disappeared before you. The forest begins to tremble as it holds its breath, awaiting their response. Scene 18. The fight for survival. Jake grabs a stick, ready to defend his friends. Jake. We won't be your toys! The spirit lashes out with shadowy tendrils, and the friends quickly work together to dodge its attacks. Emily. Over here! Run! They break for cover behind a nearby tree, their hearts pounding. Scene 19. The search intensifies. Still reeling from the encounter, they call out for Tyler, their voices echoing through the trees. MIA. Tyler, where are you? Suddenly, a rustling sound behind them makes them turn quickly, hope and fear on their faces. Scene 20. Finding the hidden path. In their search, they discover a hidden path that seems to shimmer slightly in the moonlight. MIA. Should we take it? Jake. We don't have many options left. They step cautiously onto the path, which feels unnaturally smooth. Scene 21. Confrontation with the past. As they walk, they begin to see visions of the forest's dark past, ghosts of those who had vanished before them. Ghost. Save us from this nightmare. The friends are suddenly overwhelmed with the memories of those lost. Scene 22. The Spirit's Challenge. At the end of the path, the dark spirit blocks their way. Dark spirit. Only the brave can escape, but the timid shall stay forever. MIA. What do you want from us? The spirit laughs darkly, a hollow sound. Scene 23. Defying the darkness. Jake. We refuse to give in. They join hands, forming a circle of strength. Emily. We're not afraid. Together, they focus their energy, thoughts of hope and survival radiating into the gloom. Scene 24. The Rising Light. Suddenly, their connection ignites a light that pushes back against the encroaching darkness. MIA. We can do this. Let's break the spell. The dark spirit shrieks, shadows flicking away in bright bursts. Scene 25. A final stand. The spirit lashes out desperately, trying to ensnare them in its tentacles of darkness. Jake. Push back harder. The light intensifies, illuminating the truth of the forest's past, memories of joy and life. Scene 26. The echoes of the fallen ghosts, in unison. Free us from this cycle. Their combined voices resonate as the light grows even stronger. The dark spirit falters, caught between worlds. Scene 27. There's always hope. As the light envelops them, the spirit emits a final chilling scream. With one last burst, it disintegrates into the night. Zrinya, leaving the air clear. Emily. Did we do it? Scene 28. Reunited, breathless. The friends collapse in relief when they hear a voice. Tyler. Guess who found his way back? They rush to embrace him, tears of joy flowing. MIA. I thought we lost you. Scene 29. A long way home. With dawn breaking, they stumble out of the woods, exhausted but alive. Jake. Never. Again. They walk together, the forest now quiet and devoid of menace. Scene 30. The shadows recede. As they reach the edge of the forest, they glance back at the dark trees. MIA. Do you think it's really over? Tyler. Let's hope so. But I'll never forget this. The camera slowly pans away, hinting at fleeting shadows lurking in the depths of the trees. Epilogue. The forest whispers again. Back in the quiet of their town, life resumes. Yet whispers of the forest linger in the air. Narrator. The dark woods, though quiet now, will always hold their secrets, waiting for the next unwary traveler. Aokigahara, the Sea of Trees. Aokigahara, or the Sea of Trees. This is not just a forest. It is a dense, ominous realm stretched at the foot of the sacred Mount Fuji in Japan. Tall trees, like sentinels, sway with the gusts of wind, creating the illusion of an endless sea of trees. Jukai. Everything here is shrouded in mystery and dark legends. This place attracts tourists from all over the world, but at the same time, it stirs fear, evoked by its eerie atmosphere. The geological history of Aokigahara, like a shadow, follows its mystical reputation. The volcanic eruption of 864 forever altered this landscape, covering it with a thick layer of lava on which trees eventually grew. Beneath their roots lie vast deposits of iron ore, distorting the magnetic field. Imagine your compass doesn't work. One wrong step, and you lose yourself in this dense forest. But its story is even more tragic. In the Middle Ages, during times of famine, villagers sent their elderly and sick relatives into this forest, simply to let them die. Can you picture that? Since then, it is said that spirits wander the woods, souls who sought peace but never found it. They wait for their suffering to finally end, lurking in the shadows, preying on lonely travelers. As the evening sun sank beyond the horizon, a group of 5 American friends arrived at Aokigahara, eager for adventure but unaware of the darkness that loomed ahead. They were Matt, a skeptic; Sarah, a nervous dreamer; Jake, the adventurous spirit; Emily, the sensitive one; and Lucas, always the joker. Together they dared to explore the heart of the forest, ready to uncover its secrets. But were they prepared for what lay in wait? As they set up camp near an ancient gnarled tree, a chill crept through the air. Shadows danced around them, and soon the usual forest sounds faded, replaced by an unsettling silence. The wind whispered eerily as it weaved through the branches, creating an atmosphere thick with dread. Suddenly, Lucas, ever the skeptic, scoffed at the legends of wandering spirits. "Come on. Nothing's going to happen. They're just stories," he laughed dismissively. But Matt exchanged nervous glances with Sarah, whose eyes widened at the thickening darkness. As night fell, the wind picked up, and eerie whispers seemed to echo through the trees. "Did you hear that?" Emily asked, her voice barely a whisper. They all remained silent, straining to listen. It was like the trees were speaking, sharing secrets in hushed tones. And the name they called out was haunting. Matt! Paralysis gripped him as he felt a frigid draft brush his skin. It's just the wind, he managed to stammer, but the words felt hollow. Deciding to push deeper into the darkness, Matt ventured off alone, determined to prove there was nothing to fear. "You guys are just too scared," he shouted back, though his voice shook slightly. Leaves crunched underfoot as he moved deeper into the forest, the beams of his flashlight flickering ominously. The air grew thick around him, oppressive. Suddenly, his flashlight died, plunging him into inky blackness. Panic began to rise in his chest. "Hello?" he called out, his voice trembling. All he heard in response was the rustle of leaves. The forest seemed alive, as if it were watching him. And then he saw it, a shadow creeping from the trees, humanoid but twisted, its eyes glowing unnaturally. It approached slowly, almost curiously. "What are you seeking, Matt?" it whispered, its voice a cold caress against his skin. Matt fell to his knees, paralyzed with fear. "I'm just trying to find my friends," he gasped. But something deep within him was aware that the search was not just for them. It was a search for meaning, for escape from the inner turmoil that haunted him. Meanwhile, back at camp, the remaining friends huddled together, unease gnawing at them. "We should go look for him," Sarah suggested, her voice quaking with fear. "It's been too long." "I'll go," Jake said. But the weight of the looming darkness made his voice falter. "Stay here," he warned. "I'll be back in just a moment." As he ventured out, the forest seemed to close in around him. Shadows shifted, whispering his name with chilling familiarity. "Jake!" They beckoned, luring him deeper into the thicket. "Matt!" Jake yelled, his voice fraught with urgency, but only silence met him in return. The air grew cold, an unseen pressure weighing down on him. "This isn't funny," he shouted, anger laced with fear. But the trees continued to whisper, forming a cacophony of despair that echoed through the darkness. Emily, beside the dying fire, felt the oppressive dread wrapping around her heart like a vice. She glanced at Sarah, whose eyes were wide with terror. "What if they don't come back?" she breathed. The uncertainty gnawed at her very soul. "Maybe we should just leave," Sarah suggested. But as she spoke, the trees seemed to lean closer, almost listening, as if the forest did not want them to escape. Lucas, trying to lighten the mood, bravely stepped away from the fire. "You guys are crazy! The forest is just an illusion!" He laughed, but the sound echoed too harshly, shattering the eerie silence. Suddenly, the wind picked up again, pulling at their clothes like icy hands, and dark shapes flickered at the edge of their vision. Shadows seemed to creep closer, whispering secrets of despair, of lost souls who wandered eternally. As the atmosphere thickened, Matt could feel the spirit closing in, almost feeding on his fear. "Why are you here?" it hissed. "To confront your pain? Your guilt?" He felt a flood of memories wash over him, abandoned dreams, failures, fears. The spirit's gaze pierced through him, laying bare his vulnerabilities. "Stay here with us," it whispered, "and relinquish your suffering." Back at camp, Emily grabbed Sarah's arm. "They might be in trouble," she exclaimed. Stronger than her fear, a sense of urgency compelled her to act. "We have to try and find them." Beneath the twisted canopy, the friends ventured deeper into the heart of Aokigahara, the oppressive silence amplifying their trepidation. As they called out feebly for Matt and Jake, The forest around them seemed to resonate with their fear. Rustles and whispers breathed life into the dark, testing the limits of their courage. Suddenly, from the depths of the trees, a figure emerged. They were breathless, matte, but not quite the same. His eyes, once bright with determination, held a deep emptiness. "I saw things in the dark," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "It wants us. It wants us all." In that moment, the forest seemed to exhale, a chilling breeze wrapping around them, as if the trees were celebrating their arrival, the lost and the haunted. The realization that the forest was alive struck them like a cold blade. With hearts racing, they began to backtrack, aware now that every step forward felt like gravity pulling them deeper into despair. Shadows danced menacingly, and the whispers turned into mocking laughter, each murmur tempting them to surrender to the darkness. "Run!" Lucy shouted, the only word that seemed to pierce through the fog of despair. They sprinted, the trees shifting around them, almost alive, blocking their path with twisted branches, as if Aokigahara didn't want to let them go, fearing their escape and knowing the depths of their fears. Finally, they stumbled out of the thicket, gasping for breath beneath the ethereal glow of moonlight. But silence descended, thick and heavy, as they glanced back at the forest. It loomed ominously, dark, twisted, and endlessly watchful. As they made their way to safety, each friend carried a piece of Aokigahara with them, a mark of the night when the forest revealed its soul, weaving their fears with its own. They emerged, forever changed, haunted by echoes of whispers that would stay etched in their minds. From that day on, whenever they spoke of the forest, it wasn't just a tale of adventure. It became a chilling reminder of where they had faced their inner demons, and how the shadows of Aokigahara would forever remain a part of them, a living memory pulsing in the depths of their minds.